Thank you, guys. Welcome back. So we're going to have a fantastic show for you here. Coming up now, we have Geno Segers. Thank you so much, Gino, for being with us today.
Pleasure's mine.
It is my pleasure to have you here today.
Oh, gosh.
All right, Gino, I've got some questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, so you've been in the industry a very, very long time.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. When did you start?
I started late in the business.
Okay.
I was a rugby player many years in New Zealand and Australia, Wales and France and London. And
Can I stop you there? Not just rugby, right? You're a full-on athlete from what I
know.
Yeah. Okay, you've done some football, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was a football player for high school, college, and a stint in the minor league.
Okay.
And then I sort of figured that I would continue my athletic career, and I went overseas to play rugby. I had a great time playing rugby, but I found that there was just as much politics in rugby as there was in football.
Okay.
So I switched codes to full contact wrestling. I was fortunate enough to win a national championship in New Zealand as a freestyle heavyweight wrestler, and then got recruited to go to Thailand to do some full contact fighting and bring full contact fighting back to New Zealand.
Gino, can I back up for 1 second? Yeah. What made you, what type of kid were you that made you this type of athlete? What put you so competitive? And all these sports are so competitive and so
physical.
Yeah. What did that to you?
I had some cousins, older cousins.
Sure.
That used to beat me up pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what cousins do. Yeah. That's what they do. And then I became very competitive.
Okay.
And very physical as a result of that. My first year of wrestling in high school, I really didn't understand the game because I used to call wrestling fighting. To me, it was a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's a fight. And I didn't understand why I couldn't punch in wrestling. You know what I mean? Or I couldn't, I was treating high school wrestling like WWE.
Yeah.
I was drop kicking and, so these things sort of got me disqualified until I learned the actual sport. And prior to that, I quit because my coach, I couldn't get on the mat because I was getting DQ'd from challenging.
Yeah, okay.
So I said, this thing is not for me. And Coach Southern was his name. And he said to me, he found me in the hallway and he said to me, "Son, where were you at practice last week?" I said, "Yeah, Coach, I don't think it's for me." He said, "If you quit on your teammates, you'll quit the rest of your life."
Oh, wow. And so that resonated.
And I was like, I'm no quitter.
Good
and
for
I'll
you.
see you at practice.
Wow.
And then literally that changed my life.
It literally, yeah.
Literally changed my life.
That's so profound.
Yeah. If I quit on my teammates, I'll quit the rest of my life. And I didn't want to be a quitter.
Yeah. I love that.
And I thank Coach Southern every time I see him.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving forward, so you were overseas for a bit.
I was overseas and I majored in engineering, so I gravitated to fluid systems.
Sure.
So whatever reason, my dad was a plumber.
Okay.
And I gravitated to fluid systems, being underneath houses in the crawl space every summer with my dad. Fluid was my thing.
Okay.
So I was working with a piping company in New Zealand.
Okay.
Concrete pipe. So they used to make these giant culverts the size of this room.
Oh, wow.
And put them underneath buildings, underneath highways, airports, all kinds of things where drainage was an issue. And so I got sick of that and thought, you know what? I can do this on my own. I don't need these guys. So I started doing short runs of concrete, driveways, sidewalks, this sort of thing. That led me to window cleaning because sidewalks, the windows get dirty. So I contracted some of my ex-rugby friends to do some window cleaning. That led to securities, bouncers, bodyguards, 6 point, 8 point, 3 point bodyguard.
Now, can I stop you and ask you that? Have you always naturally been in good shape like this, or is this a lifetime of physical working out? Like,
I am a fraction of my former self.
okay. Okay.
I used to be a yeah.
Well, I saw some of your movies.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
was
some,
a giant,
he's
man.
like
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah, I'm really
But
now.
when you were younger, what was your size? Were
I
you
was about 245, 250.
oh, so you were a big guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So my magic number is 300. I want to keep everything under 300,
Okay.
and so if I can stay under 300, I'm happy.
Okay.
You know, and stay out of a 50 jacket.
Yeah.
You know, I want to stay at a 48 long
Okay.
and stay there.
Because you're pretty tall. What is your height?
6'3".
Yeah, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't I don't profess to be, big tough guy.
Mhm.
I play those guys on TV, but that's
Yes, you do.
yeah, that's really
Some of your
yeah,
characters you do.
that's really not me. You know what I mean? I work out modestly now. I don't try to go in and lift all the weights in the gym.
Mhm.
I just sort of keep it comfortable.
Sure.
With a little sweat going.
Yeah.
Once
So
I get a
you
lather
feel
going,
happy,
I'm
you
good.
feel fit, you're
Yeah,
good. Okay.
yeah. I'm not.
Keeping it healthy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it healthy. Keep the joints moving, keep
Exactly.
them lubricated. Nevertheless, I have all these businesses going at the same time. I had a friend of mine who was working for me on the door of this club say to me, "Hey, man, you got a really cool voice." Well, in New Zealand, they
You ain't speak any names, won't please, son.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
They speak way any names.
and Uncle John used to speak from the chest, boy, boom.
Yeah.
So me speaking from the chest and everybody in New Zealand speaking from the nose,
Yeah.
I sound immediately different.
Something they
Like,
never
I-
heard.
almost
Yeah.
like-
Immediately different, right?
Turn around.
They're like, and it got to the point where I would have automatic response. People say, "Oh, you from the States?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And where's you from in the States? I said, "I'm from North Carolina, born, raised, and educated." That was my automatic response,
Yeah.
right? So he said, to me, "Man, you should do something with your voice. Your voice is really cool." So I go to a radio station and I basically started doing ads. At first, I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know how to be someone else. I didn't know how to. All I was good at was being myself.
Yeah. With this cool voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
No, you should.
I go to bed with it. I wake up with it. It's kind of normal to me. I just sort of being myself was sort of natural to me. You know what I mean? Duh, right?
Yeah.
But I was comfortable being myself. I didn't have a problem being myself. And that was the part that I had to really sort of figure out what the ad was, who the ad was talking to,
Mm-hmm.
what the ad was actually selling.
Mm-hmm.
Was it selling a lifestyle? Is it selling an actual product?
Yeah.
Is there a service involved in this particular product? So I had to figure out what the copy was actually trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
And the producer said to me, "Hey, man, you need to go get some acting classes."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'd never heard myself,
Yeah.
in that studio, right? So I said, "Hey, man, teach me how to do these ads and I'll do your ads for free."
Oh wow.
He thought about it. He said, "Okay." First ad took an hour. Second ad took 45 minutes. Third ad took 30 minutes. You see where I'm going, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get good at it.
Really quick.
Really quick.
Like you're catching on super fast.
Really quick, right? And by about I want to say 7th or 8th ad that I did, I was doing one take for safety.
Oh wow.
One take
That's almost unheard of.
No.
That's unheard of.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The really good guys, the really good guys can do one take for safety.
Whew.
But the guys that don't have like a producer that doesn't have confidence
Mm-hmm.
in himself,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to want to get all these different takes.
Mm-hmm.
But if the producer is the guy going to air,
Mm-hmm.
if he's the one
Yeah.
that's going to air, he knows exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly what he wanted. So our relationship was really good. Our work relationship was really good. He said, "Hey, Gino, I really need a high energy on this thing." Gotcha. I knew what he meant by high energy. hey, Gino, really, we're talking to some older
Yeah.
clients in this particular ad. So we're running with not a somber mood, but a really conservative, very deliberate, very enunciated, very pronounced. So it got to the point where people were calling and asking for the American with the deep voice.
Oh, that is so cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was like, hey, man,
that's good.
you got to start paying for that.
Yeah.
100%.
I paid you back for those ads, right?
Wow.
I paid you back for my lessons. So that really sort of where I got started. And then I sort of walked into a Lion King audition and crashed it. Didn't know that I had to have an appointment. But again,
Everybody in New Zealand talks like this.
Yeah.
me, I just had to come in and quiet sit by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was over,
How long did you do that for?
I did that for almost 5 years.
And where was that? That was in New Zealand.
It was in Australia. It was in Sydney, Melbourne. Then we moved the production to Shanghai, China.
Wow.
Then I left Shanghai and came to the West Coast touring company, the Cheetah Tour of the American production.
Wow. You were Mufasa.
I was Mufasa. Mm-hmm.
You love the character.
I owe a lot to Mufasa. He was my first role.
Yeah.
My working with Julie Taymor, Jeff Lee, Garth Fagan. Had I known who they were,
Yeah.
I would have been a whole lot more nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. But you had no clue.
I had no clue. I had no clue who they were. You know what I mean? These are some people sitting behind a desk, and they're asking me to sing for them.
So,
Okay.
Gino, how did you go from that? That's huge. Now you're on the map. People know who you are. How did you go from that and break through, and then end up on these series, the movies and TV, and
it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. While I was in The Lion King, I was taking classes with other actors who had far more education in acting than I did. So there was maybe like 4 or 5 different people. I would pay them for their time and say, hey, I really want to understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I really want to understand because I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, well, this and this. And they were giving me sort of ways to layer my character.
Don't you love how green he is through all this? This story fascinates me because it's just baby steps to him learning. This is so super cool.
Very developmental.
Yeah. For new people, guys, watch this. New actors, new voiceover people, new people in the business. Listen to this. This is really good. Because you went step by step, not even knowing what you were dealing with, doing, and you're throwing yourself in. You've had such a successful career.
Right.
Talk to me. Tell me more.
So I literally started asking other people. This guy went to Whopper in Australia, Western Australia. So I talked to him, and we set up some classes, and we set up some structure. And then there was another guy that went to NIDA, which is in Sydney. I had no idea the enormity of their schools. I had no idea.
So you were getting famous and didn't even know it.
I was working at the craft. Yeah. And so, but I still was green. I still didn't really connect the dots.
Yeah.
So once the show was over in America, I had 2 options: LA, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I'd go to New York because, well, in LA there's no theater.
No, I wasn't saying you're from. I was gonna say the East Coast, but
right. Yeah. New York, there's theater and there's television, so I can do a little bit of both.
Okay.
So New York, I moved, and for 2.5 years, I auditioned 3 to 4 times a day and booked nothing.
Very hard market, huh?
Wow.
Because I still had not mastered the ability to be someone other than myself
and find the truth in
being able to layer certain aspects of different people onto a character that I am trying to bring to life.
Yeah, it's always about the depth.
It's always about how, what level of performance you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, you're trying to achieve the best that you can achieve. You're at a different level. There's a low bar.
Okay.
But if you've been in the industry, like you've been Mufasa, so there's expectations that go to that, right?
Oh, okay.
You know, they're saying, okay, this guy's not a leader. What do you mean he's not a leader?
Mhm.
No, he's not a leader. He's definitely he's definitely a lone wolf type. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Who does that? You know?
No, yeah.
And so these sort of ideas, these sort of characteristics were hard for me at the beginning. So whenever I would audition for a particular role, I was just going in and auditioning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was just going in and trying to get up my numbers, get my reps up. you know,
Yeah. No, yeah.
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I figured that I would not get the first 50 auditions. Man, it must have been 300 auditions.
Wow.
It must have been 300 auditions. So I find myself going from Mufasa to checking IDs on the door of an Irish pub.
Like you went.
I went full circle, bro.
Wow.
I went full circle. I went from checking IDs, being Mufasa, back to checking IDs.
And so, I mean, the perseverance that takes.
But you know what's crazy? The guy I met at the gym, who was a featured background wrangler. So he would grab all these guys from the gym and they would go and get beat up by, Tom Cruise. Or they would go and chase Brad Pitt. And then they would go and, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Those kind of guys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the guy sees me at the gym and says, hey, man, what do you do for a living, bro? I said, bro, right now I'm doing the acting thing. Oh, man, dude, listen, bro, we can make $500 a week. I'm telling you, man, you should come work with me. I was like, really? He said, yeah, man. I said, wow, okay, cool. I said, so we're going to be an actor? Yeah, man, we're doing acting. I said, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I go and I see that, okay, this is not what I want to do. Now, I'm not knocking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking it, but it's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's not what I don't even have any lines.
I would say your voice is the tool.
Right.
And you have
I'm
a very
like,
distinguished voice.
I have no lines in this. This is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm getting undressed to go home, and the guy said, hey, man, we can do this every week, man. I was like, yeah, man, this is not for me, bro.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
And when you know, you know.
I was like, dude, this is not for me. He's like, you got to be kidding me, bro. I was like, nah, man, this is not for me. He called me about 4 more times.
Really?
I needed that money, man.
Wow.
Man, I needed that money.
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in just a second.
This show is brought to you by Dream Tracks Academy.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Social Media Shows is a production company based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We offer these services. We've been streaming shows live in real time for over 4 years on major social media platforms and also on our website socialmediashows.com. And we are now on Roku TV. We welcome you to have your own show on our TV network. Call us 651-955-8743 or email us at admin@socialmediashows.com.
Welcome back, guys. We're here again with Gino. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so you're struggling at this point in the
Yes.
industry. You're
Yes.
like go from
Yes.
Mufasa, Lion King. This is successful. You're so new to this. The voiceover stuff went well,
Mhm.
and you're auditioning, and you're doing some extra work. Not for you.
Not
You
for
knew
me.
that was not for
Not
you.
for me.
Okay,
Yes.
pick it up. What happened?
And so, like, the guy offered me 4 more jobs along the way, and I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So he calls me one time and says, okay, I got some lines for you.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, okay. And so I go in, I do the lines, and they're like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. But they cut the lines
Oh.
so that, like, in the show was white collar, right? It's my first television
Oh, wow.
work.
Mhm.
And I was Ames' bodyguard.
Okay.
And they cut the lines. I did the lines in the when we shot it, but they cut the lines, but they still had to pay me as a principal.
Okay. So
And
it wasn't
so
what you wanted, but
It wasn't what I wanted, but
Right.
I got paid as a principal,
Okay.
and I still get residuals from white collar,
Yep.
which is crazy to me. But that's sort of me refusing to do featured background work when I really needed the money
Yeah.
was what I feel pushed me into looking into Los Angeles.
Great advice, guys.
Yeah.
Listen to him right here for
Yeah.
new people. What he's saying is if he would have just stuck with extra work to pay the bills, he wouldn't have gotten where he is. He kind of went, you took a leap of faith and said, I'm not going to take this already guaranteed money because this isn't really what I want to do.
Right.
I'm going to strive for what I want. And it
Right.
worked out for you.
Right.
I love
Right.
that. It's a huge message.
Yeah.
Just strive for what you guys really, truly want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then they Disney came along and they were looking for a guy who was big but not fat, muscular but not a bodybuilder, likable, think Dwayne Johnson, commanding voice, think James Earl Jones. I'm like,
There I am. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
here I
I
am,
like
right?
to describe
You know what I
you,
mean?
yeah.
And so Mason McCullough, again, I owe a lot to Mason. I owe a lot to that character because he gave me a foundation of young viewers who love Mason. Even to this day, I
Yeah.
get messages
Yeah, I was
from
gonna
people.
say.
Yeah.
Because that's around like when I was a kid, like
Yeah,
like,
dude.
growing up. And
Yeah,
I remember watching it all the time. So
yeah,
it was
Bear
like
Kings, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I get
This has got to be cool for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
I
100%.
get messages all the time about Bear Kings and Mason McCullough. Where's Mahama? You know, I'm like, hey man, Mahama's somewhere deep in the South Pacific. I don't know.
You've
Yeah.
had such a successful career and have a
been fun.
successful career.
It's been fun.
You were actually on one of my absolute favorite shows, #1 show right now. If any of you guys don't know this, Yellowstone.
Oh my goodness.
And the kids love you on Yellowstone. The kids love him on TikTok. So
Yeah.
you are because everybody watches that. Everyone loves that show.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
I got a chance to work on Yellowstone. Kelsey Asbel
Uh-huh.
was my daughter on Bear Kings.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't get a chance to work with her on Yellowstone.
Oh
Your
yeah,
daughter
his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His wife.
Your
Yeah.
daughter was Dakota Love in Yellowstone.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
Well, yeah, I really wanted to work with her, but it didn't work out.
Because that would have been cool. Because it would have been like years down
Yeah,
the road. Like
yeah. Taylor and I, Taylor Sheridan is really probably one of the coolest people. One of the coolest people that I've had a chance to work with. He's really an actor's director.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, he really wants to collaborate with you, and he really wants to pull out of you how you feel about the particular role and the character and where they are, and he really wants to collaborate. And we just hit it off. So we're out at his house watching the Cowboy game,
okay.
and he's like, hey man, I got this idea. We're gonna make you the guy that he comes to, not Tonto, but kind of like a Tonto to his long range. I'm like, man, I'm happy to do Tonto. Doesn't bother me one bit.
100%.
But my character makes mention to that whole Tonto thing. He says, you're becoming a real long ranger around here.
Oh.
Now you needed the Tonto, but you're not gonna find one of them. So he mentions it.
Yeah.
But then Taylor gets pulled off to 1883, and they sort of write me off. So that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Tonto was a little too risque for those writers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas it wouldn't have been a big deal for Taylor. Taylor's really an edgy. I mean, I can't say enough about Taylor Sheridan. Can't say enough about him. Yeah.
Fantastic. Can I ask you, absolute favorite project you've ever worked on?
My favorite project is always the one I'm currently doing or the last one I worked on.
Okay.
So the last one I worked on was a movie we shot in Spain called Road to Bethlehem.
Okay.
It is a movie nativity musical.
What do you do?
I play one of the wise kings.
Okay.
In fact, my king, my character, sings the least. He doesn't sing very much,
Okay.
but it's okay. Originally the characters were switched. I got a chance to play, to work with Rizwan Munji,
Mhm.
who I worked with on Perfect Harmony.
Mhm.
He was the reverend of the church that the choir was, a member of.
Mhm.
And I got to work with him, and our roles were switched because he is Gaspar.
Mhm.
He literally is Gaspar. So this movie's going to be coming out probably mid-November,
Okay. Very cool.
and so
So
it'll
be
be
sure to watch that.
yeah,
Yes.
it'll be at theaters,
Okay.
and it's a wide release. So coming to a theater near you.
Excellent. Tell me the name of it again.
Road to Bethlehem.
Road to Bethlehem in November, guys. Look out for that. Okay.
Mhm.
One more thing. Are you a gamer? You play video games?
I just do the voices.
Okay.
Um,
That's where I was going.
yeah. I just do the voices, man.
But have you actually sat there and heard your voice? And that's got to be kind of cool.
I've never actually.
You haven't. That's
No.
If I was to play
Yeah,
a
no.
video game, I would have to play just to hear myself.
No,
Me.
that would be weird. That would be weird. But I mean,
You do Fortnite. Huh?
Fortnite, you can't because it was a one-time event.
Okay.
Galactus, hopefully Galactus will come back eventually because he got sort of zapped into another dimension.
Okay. Do you have fun with those?
I do.
Yeah.
But my favorite Fortnite character is Sergeant Tank Gatlin.
Tank
Okay.
Gatlin.
Yeah, Tank Gatlin. He's funny, dude. I have fun with him because he's in this sort of hodgepodge world
Yeah.
where he's a lawyer and a soldier.
Yeah.
And so all the characters are mixed up.
Yeah.
So it's like he's confused about, what's my focus?
Yeah.
Criminal law.
See, they're funny.
It's funny, dude. He's panicking about why he's built the way he's built. And, and he asks his creator, why do I have lower back pain?
Can I tell you, I did some research on you too, and it is my pleasure meeting you, but you are so funny. Your TikTok. Guys, check out his TikTok just because he's so funny. You say this thing at the end of it. What is it that you say? He says, wow, and then what is it that you say? Please say it. It's hysterical.
I don't know. Which one you got?
Something, I don't know. Okay, guys.
I got a lot of catchphrases.
Yeah.
So what the show is, originally it started out with Paraking's fans
Okay.
asking me a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And somebody said, man, those are some real good words of wisdom. You're so wise. I was like, what? Words of wisdom? So I asked them, I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this words of wisdom on Wednesday. I don't know Wednesday's words of wisdom. I don't know. I'm going to figure out a way to do it, right? So originally it started off as words of wisdom on Wednesday, hashtag WOWOW.
Yes.
But that was such a mouthful
That was
for people to say, right?
Yeah.
And it could, the WOWOW, they couldn't do it, right? So I changed it to Geno Segers' words of wisdom, which is GSWOW,
Okay.
which makes it
And
easier.
it rolls off.
It rolls off the tongue a little bit better,
Oh,
and there may be a new variation. Who knows? I don't know. But
Funny though, guys. Check him out on
I
TikTok.
just look at current events, things that are happening, some questions that people ask, and I try to not answer them directly because I don't want nobody coming back at me.
Yeah.
No, you
yeah.
try to make it to a broader.
So I take the subject matter and I discuss the subject matter.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
And there are a lot of things that are kind of uncomfortable for some people, but to me, it's just common sense. And the way I close it oftentimes is, don't get mad at me. This is simply the truth, according to the world of Geno Segers. Small world,
Yeah.
but it is mine.
But you know what I love though? You're
Wow.
not offensive in any way. You
I try to keep it, yeah.
You do. You really do keep
Yeah.
that. The belief system, you leave everything open, and I love
Right,
that.
absolutely. I don't want anyone to feel like they can't come to the channel and enjoy a bit of humor
So
A
much
bit of humor.
So funny.
and some information that I might feel is pertinent or that might be relevant
Mhm.
or might be in some cases downright exact. There's some things I'm not gonna turn my back on. And there's some hills I'm going to die on.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that, I'm gonna leave it there.
Now, what do you have for any new actors, models, anybody voiceovers trying to break into the business? Give them some good advice. What do they need? Especially
Wow.
this day and age, things are different.
Things
And
are
you
different.
know the business.
Things are different.
And you have a lot of young following.
Yes.
So talk to them.
Yes.
What would you tell these
I would
guys?
honestly say, don't look past the hard work. Don't try to skip out on it. Just put a process together. Put a plan together. One hand washes the other,
Mhm.
and both hands wash the face. Now, you can't wash your face with one dirty hand. You're going to have dirt everywhere. So there's order to it. Understand the process. Understand that there's order. You got to master the craft. You have to, there's a mastering of the craft. We never actually master it.
Yeah.
So you're just constantly working to be better and to do good work and to be the very best that you can be in that moment that we are basically suspending reality for the sake of facilitating a story.
Yeah,
Wow.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Those are some great words. We have a lot of young people looking to get started in this day and age. It's hard. There's a lot out
It
there.
is.
The internet has shifted
is.
things, and so it's really good for them to hear from people like you that have achieved so much. And for you, this wasn't like you weren't a little kid saying, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be a voice. So you didn't do that. You
No,
kind of,
no.
you landed on this and it
Yes.
landed on you and it became a part of you.
Yes.
And I think that's the best kind. The
Yes.
best kind is just a part of your life and your journey. That's just awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Just
But I
awesome.
mean, to me, it's a journey that you never actually get to the end.
Never.
It's just it's the journey. It's constant.
So, as you were getting into the acting, who do you look up to? Who are your actors? Who do you like? Who do you say, oh, you know what? This person inspires me.
Wow. I never actually thought of it. I'm more amazed by production,
Okay.
the directors,
Okay.
casting. I'm more amazed at the amount of people it takes to actually get a production off the ground.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're the backside.
I
You're the-
love,
Me
I mean,
too.
I really
I'm the back
enjoy
end, yeah.
working with directors, really good directors.
Yeah.
I really like good showrunners. Greg Yatanis comes to mind. I mean, it's just they Taylor Sheridan. I mean, there's so many really good people that you can work with that are behind the scenes. Dave Angus, or Ryan Ochoa. Working with these guys, it's such a collaborative effort. It's such a mission to get the story told in the best life possible.
Mhm.
I look up to those guys,
That's
and
awesome.
I respect those guys. Greg Utanis.
Is production in your future?
I've done a few things.
Okay.
I've done a few things.
Yeah.
And I've worked directly with Ryan Ochoa. We produced a short called Save the Island, which
Okay.
was a carry on from
Really?
Pair of Kings.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And after the show ended, so many fans wanted to know what happened to them. So we just put together a short to sort of like close that loop off.
Yeah.
But we left it open as well.
Oh,
So Mitchell Musso's a part of the short.
oh really?
Yeah, Mitchell
Oh, I gotta
Musso.
watch this.
And Ryan Ochoa and myself. We even got some tarantula people in there.
That's cool. I
We
like
got the mummy in there.
Yeah. Cool.
So much for
No,
today.
my
Hey, but
pleasure.
you have really just done so much for us here, to our new people especially, and just to get to know you has been our honor.
My pleasure.
I love this. This is so super cool. Guys, check him out. He is just awesome. It was my pleasure having you on today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thank you. We're going to be right back, guys.